guys with the short horns, they're just young males. They're no threat yet, so they can stay. But mating's over now. Basically, they're just about a lamb. They should lamb.
So they're pretty young then, aren't they?
But the males.
Yes. The ones with horns.
The ones with horns.
From the big fella.
The young males.
The ones with the Ballarats. There's a big fella over there.
Ginger are, pal.
Really strong. Still like this one off.
Hey,
Game
up
hunting
here,
goes
pal.
on, but
Cooter.
only certain species, certain areas.
Not, yeah, certain areas.
Take my hand
This
then.
area there's no hunting. You can't look up live in Pilo.
Gooder.
There's another one over the back too.
Yeah, here we come. Gooder mighty fighty. Okay, dude.
Well, here we are at the Sabi Sabi Lodge in the heart of the Kruger, I should say, National Park.
Then we've got Matt 1.
Got to document all this, mate. Something to look back on when we get back home.
Yeah.
Should be great. Well, as I mentioned before, this is our transportation for tonight's little tour. We take off at, I think, about 4 o'clock and head off out into the jungle for about 4 hours. Just have a look and see what's out and about. Come back, I think, we have a bit of a feed, a bit of an open fireplace, a bit of a chat. It's actually going to be 8 people in our party. There's the 4 of us, and then there's a couple of Pommy birds and an American couple, so it should be a good little trip. And then so we'll stay up for a few quiet drinks over an open fire tonight, and then I think we get a wake-up call about 5 AM where we get out and hopefully see a little bit of hunting. These are actually our little cabins that we're staying in. Actually quite nice. Little self-contained 2-bedroom little units. Let's just go for a bit of a walk here. Actually it's quite interesting. You probably might be able to zoom in. We see all these lanterns. The story is there's actually no electricity whatsoever in this little camp. So there's no phones, nothing. So it's pretty primitive. But obviously to capture the true feel of what it's like to stay out in the jungle. As we're walking through, we can see the Hector. Obviously heading to the bar, I think the Hector is. Very solid trip for Danny. Actually, I've been instructed that we're not allowed to leave the campsite at all during the day, and at night we actually have to be accompanied to our room, as much as it's only a bit of a short walk from the little kitchen dining type area to our room, which is into that cabin at the background, just between those trees. The reason behind that, because obviously most of the animals, or some animals, being the leopards, and might not do most of their hunting at night. So I've just been instructed that the guys with obviously the correct training and weapons can make sure that we can get to our room safely. She was telling us an interesting story. We'll head over to take a bit of a shortcut here. There might be a little bit of a walk with our particular hut, which I'm sharing with Matty Clever. There's a couple of white marks along the wall, and apparently there was a deer or some form of an animal like that, which was getting chased by a leopard through these grounds late at night a couple of months back, and actually ran into the hut and unfortunately was hunted down and made for a very interesting meal. There's the Hector there, just hiding. I think he's going to try and scare me, the Hector. We'll play up to him anyway. Let's see how we go. It's the Hector! Let's get in. Just a bit of a sneak preview of the bar. is the inside of our bar over here.
Magnificent.
Pretty good. Pretty much help yourself, and bit of an honesty system here. We're going to write down what we have, and I'm sure Peter will be thoroughly truthful in his doings.
Heck the round.
Heck,
round.
let's get a bit of a walk through here. Just another bit of a bar here. A few tables. As you can see out there, is where all the action is. As I mentioned earlier, with any luck we'll be able to see a fair bit of action tonight, maybe tomorrow morning. Beautiful little lodge here, very quiet and peaceful. I'm told very romantic. Bit of a pool there. At the moment the weather's probably only about 25, 26 degrees Celsius. We were due for a day of 28 to 32, I think was the call, wasn't it, Pete?
Yeah.
But
Slight chance of rain. So
a slight chance, which is certainly going to...
no rain, no game.
Yeah, well that's the thing apparently with, as you can see, the overcast conditions. We were told that if there's any rain it certainly interrupts things. But apparently 2 weeks ago they had 5 days in a row of 46 degrees Celsius. Just a little bit of a temperature difference there between what we're experiencing at the moment. It's a beautiful little balcony over here. We've got the Quape. Quape and the Hector. Just drinking a few coldies. No, it's not the Quape, it's the Whoosh. Beautiful little veranda, pergola type thing there. I wouldn't say pergola, but little decking area is the word I was after. As I can see, overlooking all of the Kruger National Park. Your thoughts on this place, Bush? Excellent. That's it. And we're just into a couple of coldies there. No, it's not. The weather's a little bit disappointing at this point in time.
Okay.
The weather's a little bit disappointing at this point in time. But anyway, that's about it for the moment. So we'll come back shortly. Well, here we are back again. This is hut number 5, where Maddie and I are sharing a room. Just sort of give you a bit of a close-up of where the actual horns of this deer, or whatever the animal was that was chased by its leopard, or the leopard, crashed into. Anyway, we'll go inside. We'll give you a quick preview, a bit of a sneaky peek at basically what we're looking at in here. That's the front door. Basically very well appointed. Got the 2 single beds, which will probably separate a little bit. We've got the fly screen, which obviously will be getting used. We also have some fly repellent for the mosquitoes, obviously not taking any malaria tablets. We have to take the necessary precautions to make sure that we don't catch malaria. There's obviously me videoing myself. Hey, Hoggy. There's our little ensuite. As you can see from just out the window, as I mentioned earlier, there's just huts everywhere. So we just walk through here. A nice little shower, a couple of basins. Very nicely finished off actually. Bit of a bath. And obviously a toilet. And a fair size shower. Should be great. And this bed here I'm just about to lay on and have a couple of hours kip. Obviously only having about 2 hours last night. I think I need a bit of a rest.
Do some damage, Joe.
Bruce, could I borrow your sandbag?
My sandbag. There we go. Sorry guys.
What are you going to do with that? Chuck it at him.
Probably heading for some water. Some water, there's a pan up ahead here.
That is unbelievable. He's going to charge us, boys. Go, big fella. Go.
Is he quite old?
Yeah. Probably, I don't know, I'll guess say late 30s, early 40s, but they'll live up to about 65.
I love him.
It's one from the camp. In the camp. It's
I'm
Lottie.
sorry.
Big boy.
I'm so fascinated by his the way he pictures them.
He just put his trunk in twice as he walked along.
Yeah,
just
just
tested the
tested
water.
it.
You really couldn't ask them more, could you?
We breathe out.
Yeah.
Breathe out. Start to breathe out before it started sucking in.
I love the sound. If you had to shoot that, where would you aim?
Between the eyes.
That's not a very nice thing to ask.
Well, I mean, you'd have to be coming at me
It
for me
sounds
to
good.
shoot him. I'll shoot him between the eyes. Maybe even a little bit lower.
No problems about your eye sample there.
Well, here we are, we just paused. Just got a bit of a puncher, unfortunately.
Watch out behind you, Hoggy, a lion.
Go, boys.
Behind you.
Tell you what, if there was, I wouldn't have much hope. Focusing camera, that's it.
Hey.
Make it this way.
Which one?
The one that, oh, that's a wide end.
Social behaviour, it's only a cub. They're very, very social animals, always together, and grooming.
Is this the pride where the other one's been kicked out?
Yes, yes. This is the biggest part of the area. They've become very, very dominant in this area. They've chased a lot of other prides out. And now the males are not part of the pride. The males are actually, they're swingers. They move from pride to pride, but they have a couple of prides within their territory. They're the dominant males of the area.
What's flashed on from that within that?
But all these lionesses are really good looking because of the social structure and them grooming each other the whole time. You find a pride where there's less females. They tend to be far less beautiful, so to say. They've got a lot of ticks and that sort of thing. But I mean, look at that. That grooming is going on there. Go for.
Are they like this because they've just eaten boots?
Yeah, copy, thank you. Sorry?
Are they like this because they've just eaten?
They've definitely eaten recently. They've got full bellies.
Yeah.
And they... And as well as when they go to the loo like that, that's a good sign that they've eaten recently.
Why would that one? Sorry, why would the other one?
For no particular reason. These females and cubs, they don't really want the males around. The male's just there as a parasite. He steals their food. Although he's father of the cubs, he's stealing the food. So he actually doesn't have a use to them.
Just wanders around.
Yeah. So was there something else in the back there?
Excellent viewage.
So if they've eaten now, when will the next feed? When will they eat next? Tomorrow? Will they eat every day or every couple of days?
Opportunist. I mean, if something walks straight past you, they'll probably hunt it. But basically, they don't need to eat for another 2 days or so. Looking at their bellies. They don't have to, but they probably will. Because the opportunity arises, they'll start moving around, sort of patrolling their territory, and then maybe they'll come across something. Go, Mike. Yeah, it's affirmative, still fairly static. You're welcome to make your own, you know.
When will the little boy get kicked out of the pride? When will the young man get kicked out?
He'll become sexually mature around about 2.5 years, and then as soon as a female comes into estrus, the dominant males of the time will kick him out.
And do the males ever pack up together?
Yeah, well that's the situation here. These two males, the two dominant males, they are brothers. So they are the same bloodline. Sorry?
There's another one over there.
Oh, and then the other side.
Oh, sorry,
These are
those
the same
trees.
two guys we saw
The other night.
the other night.
Who's the other one? I don't see it.
It's
Just
the same brothers.
He's over there.
just the other side of those trees.
Bruce, it's the same brothers we saw. Yes.
Yeah, they kill the.
Yeah, look,
You're welcome, Mary.
Yeah.
Mabels, that's two Mabels and then one young
they
Mark
just
and
look
two
like
approaching.
little kittens, didn't they?
That's affirmative. I've just pulled in, two of the guys are pulling in, and not too sure how long Sean's been here. Copy. See his belly there.
Maybe
Just a
hidden.
bit. He's probably got these cubs. Guys, please keep low.
We've got a little line coming up.
She's probably got these cubs, and she's now got milk, and this little cub at 1.5 years thinks he can score a free drink. Yeah, you've got a cub sort of underneath the back seat. This guy's seated, don't move too fast. Hey. Exactly.
They're just looking as if they're saying, what's that?
I can't believe that.
Guys, that is Oggy. You got that on camera?
It's on.
Just lie down in front of us.
You've got one you can give it to.
It was about 2 feet away, Dean.
Mobile Schlangengonjam now become mobile into airstrip and leather.
Hey?
Possibly going to be heading for Sid's Crossing.
I'm surprised that big dad.
Go, Johnny. Shami and Gonya is going to open towards the bush camp.
We can't move.
Oh, there's still lines behind us.
No, there's one to the right.
It does very well. So that means these guys, as cubs, had vehicles all around them.
Ooh, and so they're used to it.
They're very accustomed to it.
Can we get some more light on the big fella?
Oh, it's ready. Are you supposed to be daughters? Unfortunately, you can't lift it up because of the other.
Towie. Towie, Wush.
He's having a way.
You know.
He is massive.
Moonwalk.
So he wheezes on his feet and he rubs his feet in it. Now when he walks, his scent gets put out throughout the place.
He's massive.
The whole lineup. Cubs are far too cheeky for my life.
Get his eyes open.
I think
You're losing your ladies.
Get up, pal.
he heard you, mate.
This way.
Look here, pussycat.
Kidding.
Yeah, sit still.
Buddy.
Very massive. They went very quick. Very quickly.
Oh, yeah, no worries, pal. He's just fucking charging there, mate.
How's everyone doing
Wow.
Footage of that I've never got a that I've never seen.
We'll send you a
I've
copy.
never seen cubs do it, and females, but never a male.
I give you.
Get that damage.
I think I just missed it. I've got to keep turning it off. The battery's pretty low.
Did you get that shot, Paul?
Yes, I did.
Good. I'm not too sure about the plunging one there, Mom. Oh, there. Oh, yes, and the yawn.
He's pumping him out there. Oh, look at him. He's dumb.
There we go.
Cozy for us.
That's a good.
Light.
Right? The reason for he's not shining the lights on the face is that he closes his eyes like he is doing now. But he won't.
I want him to yawn.
Oh, okay.
Can you make him yawn really small?
Yawn? Yawn?
Growl. Go the growl.
And he says they're not paying him enough for this
You're
job.
really good.
Well, here we have the Hector in the driver's seat, pal.
That's how he's had to pick up and up.
Go, Hoggy. Other damage? It's just a big time.
So, Deanie, pass me through that, those 3 or 4 seconds.
We're still here. Very class encounter of what do you call one of the big 5 encounters.
This is the big 4.
Sorry?
This is the big 4. You better
That
take
right in your face.
somebody wants to take a picture with him in it too.
And yes, we're just watching the lions go past us. Pride,
There you have the big.
about four females. Pride of the fleet. And young Bruce here almost failed his job, almost lost the comment.
Tried several times.
And we're looking at a lion. Just sort of popped up and kept on coming towards a truck. It was going to T-bone us. And he saw the big boy Hector and he said, I'm not coming here. Won't forget that one, Hoggy.
Exactly. Well, that's great work, Danny. Here we are at dinner. And a nice lantern lit round table. Nice big fireplace in the middle. This is all the touring party. Sorry about the flip. You had to focus in it, right? Yeah. Well, here we are, Tuesday morning, 5:15 in the morning. Just about to go and wake up Musha and Deanie. About 5:30, we're going to leave and head out for another 4 hours and see what else we can catch. Or see, I should say. Come on, you rotten blokes. We're all waiting for you. Up. It's 5:30, boys. Come on. Seriously, blokes, everyone's fucking up. Get up. As you see the fly in it. Let's open these curtains, boys. Get a bit of light happening in here. Jeez, you guys. Hector, it's looking like a villa.
Hello, Hogler. How you going?
Let's do it.
Go, bloke.
Let's do it, you blokes. We're out of here. See you on the bus. Well, here we are. We're off again. Great work. You've sussed me out in a day. That's magnificent. That's enough. Let's go get him.
And then over at 1 inch low, right here, just after the junction.
Yeah.
I'm getting chased by an elephant here. It's great. Jurassic Park.
You did get the bottom.
He's got the wobbles.
He's got a bit of attitude, this chap, I'd say.
I love their ears. He's jolly well not going to have any knocking to his. That's what I like when you do is clap in. That snack.
Excellent work, Brucey.
Excellent.
Jolly well not going to have any.
They what? White or black? White. Very much white. Have a look at his mouth. This guy is facing you. He's got a very wide mouth. That's where the name white comes from. It's got nothing to do with the colour. It comes from the Dutch word wit. It's just got corrupted into white. It's not unusual to see so many of them together.
Yeah, because we didn't see it like that before, did we?
No, normally it's, well, one male, he's dominant of an area.
One before?
Yeah, and then we saw two females with a youngster.
That'd be the male over there.
That's right. Oh, there was
That's
that.
another
So
one.
adorable, that baby.
Fine, yeah. Two my daughter. Okay, so he said there's two males. That means that one of the males will be relatively young and subservient to the other one. Subservient to, what do you say? And then there's a group of females, probably all related.
So where does that big male fit in with those guys?
You film with
He'll be the
Go
same
get
as
him,
that
I'll
big
go.
male there. He's territorial in the area. And it just so happens that he's got a group of females in his territory.
So they weren't in the same territory. Did their territory overlap?
Yeah, the male and female.
No,
That's
the
fine.
two big males.
No, the males won't have. But the male will allow another male to come into his territory if he shows respect and he wants to go for a drink of water or something. He drinks and then he leaves.
I think that's actually quite generous, really.
It is. It's very.
The animals wouldn't do that.
Yeah, most animals would. Lions would kill.
Always got those little birds on it, haven't they?
It's called a red-billed oxpecker, and it's sort of a mutual relationship where they eat the ticks, so they get food, and the rhino gets clean.
That's another one as well.
How many we got here? We've got 3, 4,
There's one there.
5, 6.
6. See?
All those ears pointing in your direction.
He's ready to pounce.
Okay, put them come on. Thanks. That's good.
Oh, how old was the young one though?
Massive.
The
If you
young
finish
chap
that
will be a
camera.
couple of years.
Come and take
maybe
photos.
5-6 years.
Yeah.
You know, they live up till around about 40, 45.
Is this one there?
Pretty nice, still not sure. I think it looks like a young male.
I want to get the bird. Flew off.
Looks like a chin spot fetus. That's quite some spot. Who's that, Hector?
Take the Hawkeye.
Yeah,
What the heck?
late night Hector.
There's still plenty of carrots.
Really sharp eye.
If you guys want to climb out, you can climb out on the left hand side of the vehicle so as not to scare them away. And try and walk a little bit closer. Everybody, split up. Check in. This is the hair.
Just press it to the P.
The green.
No, go to the P.
This one's there. This is the good come out to the back here. Actually, you take a wide circle around.
Already done it. Well, here we are. We just jumped out of the little four-wheel drive. Just get a bit of a walk, see if we can see anything. Keeping that leg too far behind. Actually, just walking around so we can get a better view of the grass over here.
Shot of his rear end. Okay. How do you zoom on this? How do you zoom?
Would that be a male or female, do you think?
That's a male. That's a male leopard. That's a big son of that's the sort of guy who's a killer. A leopard is probably the most unpredictable of all your animals, and a male leopard is very, very feared from a hunting point of view because it's totally unpredictable. And when he attacks with such menace. When he jumps and he puts his front paws on your shoulder, kicks your stomach out with his back paws, extremely sharp claws.
It's moving.
Looking like a way I was talking about him.
They're going to us hard spots, don't they?
Yeah, he's trying to get away from us, but we're on him. It's amazing stuff. The size of it. Jesus.
Close.
Hold on one tick, man. Sorry.
Sorry?
Good.
What? Good time this morning. Lala, 5 o'clock. Salati, Kingston Gate, 25 past 5.
Jesus. You're cute.
Then piece plastic down.
It's a Caddyshack.
Leopard.
Very young one, a leopard will go for young. A male leopard like that will go for a small food.
There's the big buck.
Up in front. Up in front.
Pushing shit uphill.
Strong, huh? You guys have dung beetles in Australia?
I think they're that big.
Not that big though. I think they do.
Yeah, I think they introduced them because they
Yeah,
because of
like
the
cow
sheep
pats.
dung or something.
That is an enormous one.
Well, this is it. It's the end of our safari tour. Just jumping on our little four-wheel drive to head back to the airport. So we'll see when we get there. Well, this is the end of it. The end of the safari. We're at the airport. Just unloading our stuff. Ready to jump back onto the 50-seater plane to head back to Johannesburg. We arrive there at about 2:30. And then we catch a 6:30 flight out. And we're back to Melbourne to see my lovely wife. Oh, I missed the order. Love you, babe. Well, this is it. We're at Skakusi Airport, which is at the Kruger National Park. Just about to jump on the plane, head back to Johannesburg.
Go get him, Augie.
So, thoughts on the trip, fellas? Magnificent.
The uncle was out there in force. Excellent.
Massively excellent.
Actually, come pretty close to that big male tiger there, mate. Lion, I should say.
And the leopard.
You
Fought him off. Just a bit of a
Quick clip.
and the big bull. Bit of a swamp.
Bull elephant. Big clip for the big elephant.
Yeah.
It was getting a little too close.
Right, well, with any luck, we might be able to get back here next year, have it well organised, and get a few more of the boys. It'd be great. Excellent.
Excellent, Augie.
See you, fellas.
Yeah, but that is
Well, here we are, sitting in Johannesburg Airport. This is the end of the trip. We're just about to go on board the plane. Everyone's looking very jaded, very flat. Just can't wait to get home. Cheezel, well, look at him. He's looking as fresh as he did as we left. On your stickler. Look at the uncle. Look at the Earl, Widders, Clay, Busher, and the Fleeson. Good work, fellas. That's it, yippity yippita. That is all. There we go. He's just bought a magnificent hat. He's happy with that. As I said, he's looking as fresh as the day he walked on the plane. 6 days ago. In bed at 12 o'clock every night. Good work, Cheesy. Great work, Cheesy. Well, here we are. We're on our way home.